competition. Also to the City of Ballarat, to be able to use their facilities have been fantastic at Mars Stadium, here at City Oval and at Marty Bush Reserve have been absolutely fantastic. So we certainly thank the City of Ballarat for that. To the Ballarat football umpires who are running the canteen today, so if you do need something to eat, go up there and see our local umpires. They're doing a fantastic job. And also to the coffee van that will get a lot of use later on, I'm sure. To the umpires appointed for today's game, congratulations. It's a good honour and it's a good pathway for you as well. You know, we look at the footballers and think that that's a pathway for them. It is also a pathway for the umpires. So congratulations on your appointment today. As per usual in all V-line games, I'll ask the umpires to split in half and get down and shake hands with the players. Fantastic. As the umpires are making their way back, we'll call on Mitch from V-line to come forward for the toss, and we'll call the captain of the Rebels forward and also the captain of North East Quarter. So North East Quarter's called. Well done. Good luck, boys. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the 2025 V-Line Cup. We've just witnessed an absolute cracking contest in the girls' division. The GWV Rebels winning by just a few points over the top of the Northern East Bushrangers, and what was a great display of football here for the V-Line Cup. It's exactly what it's all about. So we've got the under-15 Boys Division 2 match up next, which could be an absolute cracker as well. North East Border had their first game yesterday. They defeated Goulburn by 21 points in a bit of a low-scoring, high-pressure contest, while the GWV Rebels, this is their first game back since Monday after they defeated the Geelong Falcons by 3 points at this very ground, at nearly the exact scoreline that we just saw before, 46-43. So we're hoping for another close encounter. Austin Kruger joined alongside Adam Palombi for the first bounce.
Loving all the action here today at Ballarat City Oval. We're up and away again. It was Gibb in the ruck. Both these sides in the boys and girls competitions so far, just showcasing a lot of pressure around the footy, which has been much of the talking point today. Over the top hand pass from Griffin Edwards. Looked nice on the eye. The kick was a bit cute perhaps from fellow Rebel of Marcus McIntyre. towards centre wing. Ball was poised up and high for Holloway. Big barrel towards the goal square in the forward pocket with the initial advantage. With position was Jed Oxley. 188.5 centimetres tall from Hamilton. Dare I say, pushing 6'2".
He's about as tall as me, I reckon. A few of these boys I've been looking up against. There's a few of the Bendigo squad as well. That just absolute mammoth. They're hardly boys at this point. They're already men.
At such a young age as well, mind you. But Julian Steffen, a recipient of a free kick at 191 centimetres tall. So, well, so much for having quite the height at a young age. It'll only bode well for them moving forward with their future career aspirations. But on the tarmac now, Steffen. Community Club of Redden kicks on its journey. It's up and high. It's a cracking start to this competition. The Rebels go bang. Steffen with the emphatic finish. Never looked like missing once he entered the tarmac, and the scoring has opened.
Yeah, sensational strike there. Goal in the opening 2 minutes. Fantastic way to get things going here. Haven't seen the boys play yet within the V-Line Cup. I did get to see Northern East Border play yesterday. They've got some wonderful players, but GWV with the hot start. They're in the light blue Guernseys going to the left of your dial, of course. Well, the Bushies in the white, off to the right, winning the tap down, trying to just yank it out of the middle. It was taken without the football. Umpire says play on. There's a kick coming to the broadcast side here at City Oval in Ballarat. Nice bit of defensive work there, getting the ball, just teetering with the boundary line, and eventually it will be spilled over. It's the first real time they got their hands on the footy. Didn't last long. It was Simon Antonello who came in with the spoil. So thrown up slightly forward to centre wing, but in favour of the Rebels. It'll be tossed back into play. A bit of a height advantage in favour of the Bushrangers as far as the ruck is concerned. Laying the tackle there was Ross. He had an immense game yesterday. McIntyre then taken, was able to slip the ball out towards Stewart. Had a slight fumble initially. Big fella on ground level in Gibb, showing off some nimble work, but another disposal coming up for Antonello. He's been busy early stages as the Rebels continue to surge it towards the paint of 50. Handball back in boards, a little bit too hot from Power. A bit too powerful from the young man, Freddie Young. Speaking of Young, bouncing ball towards the half-forward region. Slippery Sharon seeing that one out of bounds for a boundary throw in. We're about 3.5 minutes into it. And the Rebels with a good start.
Much for how the under-15 girls had started in the opening clash here today. The weather just subsiding for now. It's not too difficult out there. Not much wind to speak of. The rain holding off. Might just see the sunshine if we get lucky. As the Bushrangers manufacture a clearance, it was up and high for Twit. Bounces for Jenkins. Has looked towards the pocket. Big height was there with Oxley. The flight, rather. He went up nice and high, did he? As a shrug tackle was there from Young. From the boundaries, centering kick. Fluorescent boots surrounded the pickup. How clean was that? A dribbler along the canvas. It was Oliver Power who nearly stole the show. The pickup was one thing, Austin, but how about the spectacular finish he tried to apply?
I know, I thought it went through, to be quite honest. Looked good off the boot, but not meant to be as of yet. Whitehead will bring the Northern East Border Bushrangers out of defence, or just struggling to control possession at the moment. The skipper's going to fly in from the side there in Griffiths. He's had a good start at this game, Freddie Young putting them back inside forward 50. He's already had a couple of entries for his squad as they're going to go through hand. Streaming past in support there is Greenheimer. And a lovely kick into the pocket and the line-up for their second. It's been a hot start here for the greater Western Victorian Rebels. And lining up in front of the big sticks is going to be that man, Oliver Power, who had a shot only moments ago. He did have the 3 goals in that 3-point victory over the Geelong Falcons all the way back on Monday. Represents Ballarat Footy Club. Slight angle here at Ballarat City Oval and Oliver Power hits the woodwork, so he's got 2 behinds to start proceedings. 1-2-8. Northern East Border yet to score, yet to really get a forward 50 entry. 5.5 minutes into it for this Division 2 V-Line Cup matchup.
Haven't seen much yet from the Bushrangers Division 2 boys side yet. They've been struggling to get the ball beyond this part of the ground as it's kicked towards the height of Henry Gibb. From half-back, got a bit of a jeer from the crowd was Xander Parker. Meanwhile, Dustin Fisher with the pressure applied on him. It was much of the same, which Darcy Skihan had to go up against. Spinning was McCulloch. Much of the same, and the clearance was manufactured by Gosling. Goes towards centre half forward, a long broadcast side. Sparing kick, that's well done from Oliver Power in his defensive half. Stefan Wheels got a bit overzealous perhaps. The mark slips through Hodges' fingers. Hand pass in the corridor was there from Hughes. Up and high, latching on was Fisher. Went around the footy, pick-up was clean by Parker. Had to get it back. Edwards lurks around the football. Nice pick-up from McIntyre. Goes down interchange wing. The Rebels with the run and carry. They have options streamlining everywhere. It was McKenna who had clunked initially. Still might be a goal-scoring opportunity. They can line up here, the Rebels, and sink through their second. And it might just be a captain's goal. It's Jack Griffiths with the finish. They extend their margin out to a healthy one. The scoreboard lights up. And the Rebels Austin have a 14-point lead, 2-2-14. They have registered 8 minutes played in this Division 2 contest.
Yeah, wonderful effort there, and it was really started off half-back. You mentioned it was Oliver Power who's been doing a lot of work inside forward 50. Got that rebound going and finishing off the good work. Jack Griffiths also makes some work there. Mitchell Holloway nearly took a nice mark going back with a flight inside forward 50, and the skipper kicked a goal against the Falcons. There's might be a 6-6-6 warning. We've seen a few of those throughout. Of course, most of these players at local level haven't really played amongst those kind of rules, so it's a great opportunity for them to learn. As bursting through the middle will be Jordan. Rebels trying to continue to pile on the damage here in this first term, and he's able to get past his opponent. Will spear that one inside forward 50. It was a tough one for the key forward to get. Little Soccer just hoping for the best, trying to clear it out of the danger area. Freddie Young was a nice pick-up, but he was taken by a couple of tackles straight away and took on a little bit too much, says the umpire. Northern East Border can just try to calm things down a little bit, control the footy and get something going here early stages. 14 plays 0. Ross will be the target for them. He brought it to ground at least. Kick smothered. Freddie Young yet again getting involved. Just picked up and slapped forward. 1-on-1 down the line. Could twit when and out. Brought it to ground. Rebels seemingly with all the answers. Another Soccer might just work out for them through Oscar Edwards. He was immense in defence yesterday. Maybe playing a little bit more up the ground. I imagine we'll see a lot of these players playing numerous positions throughout the competition. Darcy Scan on ground level, just outside the centre circle, but it went to the opponent there in Gurnett. And the Rebels yet again can't do anything wrong here. Griffiths just got the last goal up against the man in the long Richmond yellow socks. Love to see it in defence. Trying to track it down was Gabe Ireland. It's been a good contest between the two. Edwards yet again getting involved. Hot footy to start. Edwards was on his knees in the ball, found its way back to him. Dickey little kick in the direction of Gibb. It's going to be a hold off the ball going the way of the Northern East Border Rebels. Oscar Edwards will be the, well, it's going to go to Gibb because it was downfield.
That'll just try steady the ship momentarily. Gibb had to go sideways. Hughes hugging it half back. Goes right down the line. A pack forms, and that's a nice strong mark. Take it on broadcast side. Get around out of Harvey Gosling.
Ross.
Sounds a bit more like it as Ross goes towards centre half forward. The flight was courageous from the Bushrangers of Skihan, who was leading. And while we mentioned briefly about the height of these players at such a young age and really showcasing some great positional awareness around the ground, as in the ruck, tap was one momentarily, not to advantage by that of Gibb. Umpire with the stoppage. It's been quite the fluent start from both sides. The Border or the northeastern border Bushrangers, rather, Austin. They've just been getting stuck in this area. They can't seem to apply much forward pressure. It's been too slick defensively with the hand movement from those in blue. But they can recycle now as McKenna takes a nice mark. Looks inboards. Kick had to be perfect, and it was. Parker has calls from all over the ground. Xander Parker goes towards centre half forward. The big man of Fisher nearly taking the clunk. Oh, just inside the arc, the Bushrangers manufacture a stoppage. Up it goes. Gibb wins the tap. His counterpart number of Carlin manufactured something which was necessary for the Rebels. The ball just inside the centre square. On interchange ring, they could be out here. Players streamlining forward in blue. Umpire has called a 50-metre penalty, considering the standing rule, I want to say, Austin.
Yeah, encroachment on the mark there. I imagine there'll be a bit more leniency going forward next year, but either way.
And they've got vacancies everywhere inside the forward 50, and Martin was one of those, as he'll look to line up towards goal.
Certainly will. He's playing his footy for the Horsham Demons at under 17 level. 9 goals, 12 best from his 19 games this year, so noted goal scorer, often amongst the best, is Zach Martin.
Has an angle, has a bit of a breeze to deal with as well. Might just help the ball sit up straight. As Martin off his right. All players stopped to watch, but it had just gone wide to the left for a minor score. For a 15-point margin, unreturned yet from the Bushrangers, who haven't scored.
Whenever they have had it towards their forward half of the ground, hasn't lasted long. They've been able to somewhat get their hands on the footy. How's that for a flight? Oliver Powers having some kind of first quarter. Fantastic mark on the big fella too, and Henry Gibb just hopped on the shoulders. Said, see you later, mate. But often after the specky, the kicks don't live up. You see it quite often throughout every level of footy. Either way, it was certainly going on the highlight reel there for Power. 1-1. Surely not. Gibb was trying to avoid being the step ladder yet again. Out of the Wangaratta Tigers. Ball slips out nicely here for the Northern East Border Bushrangers. Just with a bit of a spray and pray hack. Not much else they could do due to the pressure that they're under. Kick was smothered there from Griffin Edwards. Potentially taken without the football. Speaking of, clean work on ground level though. Apologies, we weren't given a number 44. We'll have to confirm that with you at quarter time. Of course, with all the players playing a little bit amongst Division 2 and 1, sometimes it can be a bit confusing, but Henry Hicks putting the Rebels back inside forward 50. There's a sock out there going right down to the opponent there in Griffin Edwards. It might just bounce all the way. It certainly will. A bit fortuitous. Waiting for the confirmation, all clear. Griffin Edwards, who's just started to pop up, he's been lively. He's kicked a few goals in the Ballarat representative game. 13 at local level. And a nice finish. Bit of a lucky bounce, but it works out for them. 3-3-21. Bushy's yet to score. 6 minutes left here in the first.
And the Rebels have really made use of good ball movement around the ground. And Edwards was fortuitous, as you mentioned, Austin, but, well, it was certainly in the mixer. He applied the finish over the top. 21 points the margin, 5 minutes and 33 seconds left on the first quarter scoreboard. Can Gibb win the tap? He does. It doesn't go to advantage. A quick clearing kick was there from Carlin. Those in blue looking ominous. A pickup could be clean here from Stewart. And he slots it straight through. And they're pulling away now. Are the Rebels. And just as I've gone to look down to identify that of Keelan Stewart, he goes bang. The boy from Darley and St. Patrick's College makes it a 27-point ball game. And although Gibb had won the tap in the centre, Austin, the read from those in blue earned themselves an entry inside forward 50. They're really having quite the firm grip on the game now, are the Rebels.
They certainly are. Well, Gibb does have the height advantage in the ruck, so the mids are aware of that, knowing that he's most likely going to win the hitouts. He's also the bigger body, so you almost just got to start roving to him, in which they do yet again. It's that man in Casey Carlin. You're trying to get this centre clearance out. Ball spills out towards the broadcast wing here at City Oval in Ballarat. North and East Border Bushrangers trying to get themselves in the game. Bit of a sling nearly into the fence. They're going to get the number 44 because he's having quite the game, and apologies there. Not on the team sheets, so we'll try. Master that one up. Toss back into place. Centre wing broadcast side. 27 plays 0. Here he is yet again. Going through here now to George Farrell. Over the top to the Griffin Edwards, who's the lively small forward who doing some good work on ground level against the bigger bodies. Didn't have it. And that's bounced off the shin of Ross. Therefore, it should be a boundary throw-in, well officiated, as it has been throughout the whole V-line competition. Big thanks to all the umpires. It's been a big few days for them. Just having a little conversation here. Tense moments. A bit of a hush over City Oval and Ballarat as the boundary umpires merge together. And the correct decision was made. So it was Power that kicked it into the shin of Ross, well, basically on the knee. Therefore, boundary throw, a bit of a shallow one, trying to run onto it and do the ruck work was Freddie Young, who's been racking them up in the early stages. Gibb with the handball over the top, trying to put it into space, potentially legged. There's no potentially about it. Gosling was legged there on ground level yet again. Is Freddie Young. He's just going to pop that one forward. Got to try and get creative at this point of the game. McIntyre at the footy first here for the Rebels. Streaming past in support. Weinheimer, I believe. And they're going to get another entry. 2-on-2. No one could get a hand on it. So it'll allow Griffin Edwards to potentially run onto this football in the neon wheels. And rightly so, when he's playing footy like this. George Farrell, he's going to set it up. Does the unselfish thing. Couldn't hold on to the mark in defence. Under pressure still of the Bushrangers. Fantastic bump. Both boys just with eyes for the footy. Textbook stuff. Although, might have just pulled up a little bit ginger, though.
Gabe Ireland here, he was going really firmly for the ball, wasn't he? The boy with the Richmond Tiger socks on, and, well, his socks nearly came off considering how courageously he's gone right in for the Sharon.
He's pulled up a bit groggy, and it's going to be a free kick now to Oliver Power, who's had some moments already in this contest. Has Oliver Power. He's had 2 behinds, trying to get his first major. He's going to nearly swing back, but there's been a free kick in the goal square, and it's going the way of the Rebels. So, some indiscipline acts. It's going to allow a nice little easy pop over the top in the goal square. And putting it through will be Zach Martin for the Rebels, and they're going to take a 33-point lead with only 90 seconds remaining here in this first quarter. Yes, team sheets have just flown away here.
Well, there's that wind again, Austin.
I think the breeze is picking up.
As much as I was saying before that it just subsided, we're yet again without team sheets.
I'll see if I've got any sticky tape for you, mate. Cause
Austin Kruger, the consummate professional. Of course, you've heard his voice, I'm sure, time and time again, especially across youth competitions.
I think they'd be sick of me after the last couple of days, to be perfectly honest with you, Adam. I've been
Aussie rules.
just babbling on by myself for the last couple of days. So
it's a pleasure to be alongside him today, and he's been immense. But as have the Rebels, they've stretched out to a 33-point lead. Their kicking's been accurate, and they're really winning much of the contest right in the corridor. Play on 2 words there. Meanwhile, McIntosh trying to bounce off halfback. It's a nice kick. Fisher, the recipient, wheels and deals. 2-on-2 contest, the height with the Rebels. And our mystery man in number 44 has done well to clunk. His kick's ambitious, and away they go with the carry. Carlin went for a journey. Hand pass was released. The kick towards centre half forward. Well defended by the Bushies. Only for now, as it might have been Fisher around the Sharon. They've already made it inside the 50 by the time we can try to identify who's on the ball. The Rebels on the board. The siren's going to sound. Now look for a 39-point lead at quarter time. As Archer Ward will look to line up. So the players just go towards their interchanges. Ward off his left makes the goal umpire dance and indicate a minor score. 5-4, 34. Northeast Border Bushies yet to score in the Div 2 boys clash. Austin Kruger with the quarter time scorers.
Yes, absolutely. We've got Griffin Edwards in the scoreboard, Zach Martin, Jack Griffiths, along with Julian Stevens. It's been a fantastic display of football there from the GWV Rebels. Bushrangers looking for a response in the second quarter, and we'll see you soon. Welcome back, everyone. Quarter time here at City Oval in Ballarat. Dominant first quarter performance from the Greater Western Victorian Rebels, 5-4-34. They lead by, thanks to some good goals from Julian Stephen, Caleb Stewart, Jack Griffiths, Griffin Edwards. I believe the other one was Zach Martin. Apologies. And of course, we have found out the number 44 is Charlie Bell, who had a wonderful performance. Austin Kruger's my name, driven alongside Adam Palombi here for the 2025 V Line Cup. And out of the middle, Griffin Edwards linking up, handball over the top into a little bit of space. Doing the defending are the North and East Bushrangers, from which they've done so throughout the contest. It's going to be wrapped up from Parker Whitehead. Clearing kick coming from Wiseman. Kicked a couple of goals yesterday, did the wise man. It was Marcus McIntyre, M&M, putting them inside forward 50, and it might just slip out the back for Billy Jenkins. Couldn't quite. Ball just eluded him through hand. The Bushies go. Trying to clear it out of the danger area. They've had all the answers throughout the day. The Rebels, Ross's kick was slightly deflected. Running onto it now is Casey Carlin, bouncing one inside forward 50 to the skipper, who's been taken high, surely. Holding the ball, apparently. Okay. It's going to be Ross with the free kick.
What can the Bushrangers try find in this second quarter? They've been up against it firmly in the first. Is there any alleviation? McIntyre got around the footy. It's well done from Hicks. Caught on it, and now nowhere to go. Was Parker. Along broadcast side, it's going to sit up. No, it's not. In fact, it's out of play, as it might have just been Ross.
Yeah, watched him yesterday, Ross. He was arguably the best on ground performer for them. He was fantastic in their 21-point victory over the Goulburn Murray Bushrangers. So a bit of rivalry between those two Bushrangers side, I imagine.
All for the namesake. Gibb hadn't got front position in the rucking contest. It was parried away by Stefan. So much of those duties. Ricochets out to Wiseman. Wasn't sure where to go. Kick was smothered nicely by that of Stefan. It's booted towards the forward pocket. It bounces fortuitously. An opportunity might open up for Jenkins, who's scrambling. He made something from nothing to the number 5. Unsure where to go was Whitehead. And the Bushrangers had to hold their nerve. They got a clearing kick, which McKenna was able to clunk. Looks for the tall man in Gibb. Had support there provided by Ross, who gets the hand pass away, slipping, stumbling, got it somehow released. It was Thwaites. Along the canvas, he goes towards his opponent. Gone to the ball, says the umpire. That's going to favour those in white, as the Sharon will reside with Wiseman. Had a decent little passage there. Has a leading kick. Mark taken by Edwards. Looks sideways. Doolan. They go towards interchange wing. The one-on-one contest. It's a strong mark taken by Twit. Outer side. Island. This is better from them. Haven't seen this yet from the northeast border Bushrangers. They kick towards the forward pocket on the right side. The pressure was applied quickly by Fraser, and they'll have a stoppage. So not the worst opening. Couple of minutes from those in white in the second term.
Yeah, well, they conceded a goal in the opening couple of minutes of the first quarter, and they're looking to make amends for that and try to get themselves back in the contest. But the clearing kick coming from Stephen lands nicely here to Trent McKenna, who had some kind of afternoon yesterday, trying to serve it up on a silver platter. Not quite. Height advantage in favour of the Rebels, as they're going to repel this football, trying to kick it to advantage, allowing George Farrell to run onto it, in which he does, but he was tackled straight away. It's going to be a boundary throw-in. Thought for a sec the umpire was going to call for a free kick, but Julian Stephen to contest the ruck up against Henry Gibb. Gibb with the 4 centimetre height advantage on him. He's going to win the tap. Ball still in dispute. Picked up Gibb, laying the tackle now. Bushy's just starting to get themselves back in the contest, starting to win a bit more football and territory, and they just soccer that one, and it lands nicely in the chest of Reinheimer. Falling to the ground, sliding onto the turf, taking a good mark. Was that the mystery man? Not quite. It was Freddie Young who dominated that first quarter for the Greater Western Victorian Rebels in their fantastic Guernseys today. Zach Martin involved in this passage. Bushrangers able to force the turnover. Looking to go through hand was Edwards. He did find an option in support, and they'll re-enter. No one could get a hand, at least a mark, should I say. Desperately defending. Good tackle. Unlucky not to be rewarded was Reinheimer. He's had some good defensive moments already throughout. As we'll throw it up right in the paint.
What can they conjure up here? The Rangers had a very decent start to the second quarter. If they can find a goal, it would certainly be fitting of their reward for effort. Hand pass and desperation. What was the idea? Roaming around the footy, but a bit too short to receive with Skihan. Off the left boot. This could be their opening major. And they find it. And Kobe Thwaites, the boy from Benalla, had the instincts with his left boot. And they do find reward for effort by slotting in their opening major of this Div 2 clash.
Lovely finish there. Only turns 15 later in the week, 14 years of age, 168 centimetres. Plays much bigger than that though. 23 goals, 12 best from his 16 games for the Benalla under-17s throughout the 2025 campaign. Got a nice goal yesterday in their victory over Goulburn, and continuing the form, they'll continue the fight back. They might have the scoring end. Well, the seams of things, or if they've just woken up a little bit. Of course, GWV well rested. Their last game on Monday. Northern East had their first game yesterday. And they've just surged it forward nicely here, looking to get an instant response and potentially slump the shoulders as some of the Bushy boys going through hand. It's a piercing kick. It's a one-on-one. Going back with the flight. Couldn't quite hold on to the mark though. Could Sam McIntosh. Still going to try and keep this one in play. Is there going to be a push in the back? Or was it already a boundary throw-in? So it's going to be a boundary throw-in inside forward 50. The Greater Western Victorian Rebels, who advanced into another preliminary final within the Coates Talent League this season, thanks to a goal on the siren from Charlie McKinnon. Just came up short to the eventual premiers. As bursting through the pack is Caden Jordan.
Well done.
Setting it up. Beautiful kick under pressure. And lining up will be Jed Oxley, the big ox.
He led nicely to the boy from Hamilton.
So tight-ish angle. I'll be right behind this kick, as I said, to get the instant response. And watch out for the bus windows. Luckily, we've got the net behind the goals. Minor score, 5-5-35. Plays one straight 6. 12.5 minutes, still a half-time sewing here for this Division 2 matchup within the V-Line Cup. The final day of the V-Line Cup. It's been a wonderful few days here in the lovely city of Ballarat, and the surrounding suburbs have put on quite the show for the second year running.
Echoing the message of Austin Kruger. Beautiful is Ballarat. And all the teams across the last couple of days have really showcased quite the competition. And a plethora of youth prodigies around the state of Victoria and beyond. Footy's next generation purely in safe hands.
We saw that in the girls' game, didn't we? In raining, trying conditions. They looked a class above the rest.
Still some great use of the footy as going right down the spine was Thwaites. Took a bounce which didn't favour him, hit the canvas. Those in blue trying to repel. Forward pressure applied nicely by Gosling. Nearing the footy was Fisher. Up and high away was Bell at the clearing kick. Hammer fist. Gibb goes bang, which got some territory. For those in white, had to go quickly. Was Hughes. Inside the arc, the Bushrangers get the ball in that jurisdiction. Lovely bit of selling of the candy. This could be goal of the day if it goes through. And Dustin Fisher, the boy from Rutherglen.
Big dust man.
Nearly just put on a superbity of a finish. He roamed supremely well. And he just had a blemish wide, but that would have been arguably our goal of the day so far.
Would have been a fantastic finish. Of course, there's been one just dropping the mark, allowing an opportunity to keep it inside for Isaac Hughes of the Northern East Bushies. Slipping through the hands of Thwaites, their sole goal scorer so far, coming a few minutes ago and eventually does pop out. You mentioned the big Dustin Fisher. He's not the only Dustin to come out of this area of Victoria, of course. Dusty Martin playing his footy through the Bendigo Pioneers. And along with Harley Reid, another one who's come out of Bendigo. So they always produce the top-end talent to the countrysides. As it's just outside the paint of 50. Wrapping up in the tackle was Stewart. On footy. Northern East just clawing back into this game, but GWV weathering the storm well at the moment. I believe it was Skian there just bursting down the line. Just a bit too much on the kick for the target. Just showing a little bit of footy. Just hitting the wrong side of the boots. And it's going to go back to that man who's... It's Caden Jordan, apologies. And not the greatest kick. It's gone right to Henry Gibb, the Gibster. Down the line he goes, maybe a little bit rushed because it has been marked in half back. Here for the Rebels. As we've just passed the halfway point of the second term. Centre wing broadcast side, front positioning, good mark. Strong hands from Kalen Stewart and Adali. He's already got a goal. And he's playing some kind of game here for the Rebels.
Stewart towards centre half forward. That's a really nice mark taken. Parker Whitehead. Of course, goes to Xavier College. Plays community footy at the Wodonga Bulldogs. He's in prime position there to take a nice intercept mark. It goes to an interchange wing. Bouncing for Fraser. Sees it out of play.
Got a lot of team to Wodonga. They've got the Wodonga Raiders, we've got the Wodonga Saints, Wodonga Bulldogs. Many teams. There'll be some fierce rivalries throughout those teams as well. I imagine a few of those boys that would have gone up against each other in recent years. And as we heard the girls talk after the game about the connection they've been able to grow throughout the last few days of the V-Line Cup, and we're seeing that here in the final day with some of the play.
The bounce just going to prop up and confront Doolan. Of course, of Wodonga also, the Bulldogs. Currently at the Catholic College of Wodonga.
The Dong Dogs.
There's many of them here today. As you travel further up north, footy firmly runs through the veins of everybody along the Hume. No matter how high up you get it. Has the Rebels trying to get the ball inside their forward 50. They haven't seen much daylight there since the opening quarter. Hand pass through the corridor might just get them there. Lovely chain this could be. It was released by that of Carlin. And the Bushrangers had to apply a tackle to stop the tsunami-like forward move.
He was the captain, Hudson Doolan there.
All just so fluent. As Gibb in the ruck, the tap. Edwards got boot to ball. That's a clean pick-up off the left, not so much from Archer Ward. Found his maiden goal. In fact, that was a point he put behind at the end of the first quarter. Around the pack, many were lurking in blue. It's just going to sit short. And wasn't sure. Nate Atwood somewhat smothers the ball onto the post for a minor score.
It was probably smart footy there because it was actually touched. So if he took the mark, he would have been under pressure. So he's able to just bounce it off the chest, get the rush behind anyway, and get possession back for the side that's got a little bit of work to do. It's a very dangerous kick trying to exit their defensive 50. They've got to work it out through hand. Well done there from Dustin Fisher, the big dust man. Called him yesterday. He had some good moments. He kicks it to the opposing big fella in the Gibster, Henry Gibb. Got some big lads out there. Under 15s competition. Hard to believe. It's the quick counter-attack here. Everyone has a fly. No one could get the mark. 3 Guernseys to 1 in favour of the Rebels, but it was 1 out for the Bushrangers. How's that from a soccer? And Twit, the beneficiary, it was a 3-on-1 on the boundary. He won it out, got the soccer, and Twit will reap the rewards and line up to get 2 on the trot here for the Bushrangers. They've had to work hard for their opportunities. They've got the game slightly back on their terms. It will be a tough kick of the footy though. Tight angle here at City Oval in Ballarat. Will be about a 38, 40-metre kick. Bit past a 45-degree angle. Hardy Twit. Another one out of the Wodonga Bulldogs for 2 on the trot. It's pulled up a little bit short. Is it gone over the line? Not quite. Eventually it does. Another minor score. 1-2-8, plays 5-6, 36 with 6 minutes left.
And well, the Bushrangers currently might just be winning the second quarter by a couple of points. The scoreboard reads a lot differently. The Rebels had a great start to this one. But since quarter time, the side trailing have lifted. Fisher, his field kicking's been enormous. They will have a mark paid inside their forward 50, and dare I say, we'll need the binoculars for this one. Austin's got the equipment ready to go, and he's just trying to scope out who's got this Sharon right now.
If any of the players are watching, if you do take a mark inside forward 50, just give a quick turn around to the camera for us, please. It was touched off a few sets of hands, I reckon, but still, they had a shot from this exact spot only a minute ago.
On the tarmac, the Bushrangers, they certainly need something. Despite all the efforts that they're conjuring up inside forward 50, they're kicking, just letting them down, and
probably rather
not much more on that occasion.
Probably rather it's not Ideem with that kick.
Just blemishes wide, and well, no score. 4.5 left. The Rebels towards centre half wing. This is the part, Austin, where Gibb and company have really cut off those in blue from venturing further up the field. Gibb towards the pocket. Big flight was required from Skehan, the boy from Yarrawonga, as it trickles out of play.
Yeah, boundary throw in, or is it a minus score? Out of bounds on the full. It's going to be option B, boundary throw in. 4 minutes left till the big break here for this Division 2 VLAN Cup matchup. Greater Western Victorian Rebels piled on 5 goals in that first term. Haven't seen much of it since. North East Border have been pressing, but slightly inaccurate. Haven't been able to make the most of their opportunities. Has shown some good work out of the ruck contest. There was, Gurnett on the outer side here at City Oval in Ballarat. It's just been lurking around this patch of the ground for some time. Another boundary throw in towards the dying stages of the half. A fantastic few days. Boys trying to finish off with a victory. Did well to somehow get the kick away there, Holloway, as he was getting tackled, and within a blink of an eye, the counter-attack is on. We've seen them, the few dazzling plays like this throughout the contest. It was a great contested grab there from the Rebels, and then showing a bit of the footy. And they'll get another deep entry.
Oh.
Good grab. The rebound, counter-attack punch. And the Greater Western Victorian Rebels are going to allow Julian Stephen, who's already kicked one, to line up straight in front. 35-metre kick and take away the momentum that the Bushies had been building.
Had no right to mark that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He's done really well.
Julian Stephen, he has kept the 39 from 17 games for Redden under 16s. Had a bag of 8 against Mount Clear earlier in the year. It's going to push out to the right. The wind really just taking that one at the last second. 5-7, 37, plays 1-2-8. 2.5 left here in the first half.
It's come off the post as well. So unlucky. Perhaps the boy from Redden and St. Patrick's College. A let-off for the Bushrangers. They've had much of the play in this second quarter. They have to be ambitious with how they approach the game from now on. McKenna. Chipping kick's going to bounce. It sits up kindly for Whitehead, who had to get around his opponent. He couldn't. And he's gone on the ball.
Bit of afters as well.
Fired up was McIntyre, who goes with a centering kick. There's 3 Rebels to choose from. And they've got representation. Dare I say, it's Bell who's taken the mark. Might not be Bell, he's a bit deeper.
Good communication from the forwards. Often you see in those scenarios, even at senior level, all the 3 forwards just crash and bash into each other, and in the end it will be the mark taken.
Freddie Young, North Ballarat, I'm sure has quite the understanding of Ballarat City Oval. On the tarmac. Off his right, it wasn't the prettiest kick, it might just come back. It was flirting with coming back completely, almost like a torpedo from left to right, boomerang-esque sort of stuff. The minor score will go through. It's a 30-point margin now. The Rebels, the forward pressure. That was required by the Bushrangers. A big hack field kick down the line. Making a contest off it was Skian. Trying to get involved. It's well brushed aside by Antonello. To escape from halfback, the ball just sits up for the Bushrangers, and boot to ball was there from Hunter. It might go all the way. Bell to ruin the party with a spoil across the line.
Geez, they've had some very close opportunities. They've just come a little bit short. Been a touch unlucky, but it's been well defended throughout. It's a wobbler. It's well taken. Hard to read when they're floating through the air like that, but Casey Carlin made it look easy. And a South Warrnambool. Freddie Young, having an awe-inspiring first half, is Freddie Young. Pops it over the top to Dolan. As the seconds continue to tick down here at City Oval, Ballarat. It's been an entertaining clash. Northern East Border were able to bring it back just a touch. Archer Ward, go for the barrel, son, why not? So the halftime siren sounds. 5-8-38 plays 1-3-9. Our goal scorers for the GWV Rebels: Griffin Edwards, Jack Griffiths, Julian Stephen, Kaylin Stewart, and Zach Martin. And of course, for the Bushrangers, it was Kobe Thwaites with their only major, and they'll take a sizable lead. Will the Rebels coming in to the big break? We'll see you shortly. Second half about to immense here at City Oval in Ballarat. It was a good quarter from the Bushrangers. They just couldn't quite get enough scoreboard reward for their efforts. They set at 139, trailing the Greater Western Victorian Rebels 5-6 or 5-8-38. It's been an entertaining clash. Rebels kicked their all of their 5 goals in the opening quarter. Bushrangers were able to wrestle back the momentum, as I said, but coming into this second half, the Rebels in a commanding position. The girls won an absolute nail-biter, so they're looking for the clean sweep. There are plenty of Bushrangers fans in attendance here at City Oval in Ballarat. Austin Krug's my name here for the 2025 Airline Cup, and here is the voice of Adam Palombi.
1 half down, 1 more half to go in the Div 2 clash here. What can really be mustered up from both sides? They had the fast start when kicking to the left, did the Rebels in the opening quarter. They're looking to do much of the same here in the third, as the kick goes up and high from Oxley. And the umpire's seen something here. In fact, it's going to be a very early start. They've got a set shot opportunity. It's in the hands of Julian Stephen. Kick to bag at junior level. Boy from St. Patrick's College. Well, day 3 now of school holidays. Wants to end the V-Line Cup campaign with more goals to his name. Is from the paint of 50, steps over that area, lines up, and has a blemish for a minor score. It goes wide, and the first score of the third quarter, a minor.
And the first blemish, Stephen. A few opportunities, hasn't been able to convert. He kicked his first, missed the next two. It'll stay within the vicinity of the forward 50, though, of the Rebels. The left of your dial, seemingly the scoring end throughout today's play amongst the girls and the boys matchup. Well, will be another one for the Division 1. So here is the captain. Kicked that lovely goal in the first quarter. Griffiths in the arm sleeves. As they just continue to win the footy out of the coal face, sliding onto the turf. There to mop up the mess, though, Trent McKenna has been doing so for the Bushies throughout this competition. Through hands they go, under a lot of pressure, just hacking that one out of the pack, hoping for the best. Ball in dispute, well done. Was one out there from Josh Hunter, or McIntosh, I believe. Dangerous play going, conceding a bit of ground as it's a bouncing one towards the broadcast wing here at City Oval in Ballarat. Can Thwaites run onto it, their sole goal scorer. Happy to absorb the contact there is Fisher, and we'll throw it up slightly forward to centre wing here for the Rebels.
Nearly a hospital hand pass. It could have been from Whitehead, and his teammate in Wiseman had to go quickly. Nearly caught in possession. Gibb, it's been immense today in the ruck. There's been a few spot fires around the ground, mainly between the wingers, who haven't really been separated in terms of who's performed better so far. Ross has certainly had a decent game, but so have the likes of Hicks and Dolan and Antonello. Ryan Hamer, much of the same for both sides, really. It's been rather even in that battlefront. Meanwhile, Antonello got the ball under his spell. Spinning away was Hicks. Wasn't sure where to go. That of Harry. Stoppage just inside the arc. From the ball up, parried away, opportunity. Quick boot to ball was the idea from Stewart. Despite having many of the scoring opportunities, the Rebels unable to just completely pull away. And by judging from the scoring shots, Austin, could argue they could be in front by more than a 30-point margin.
Yeah, certainly right. Could almost make the argument as well for the Bushrangers in that second quarter, who, after kicking their first, then kicked 3 consecutive behinds. So they could have clawed back to what we believe is the scoring end. Looked like he was taking without the football. Smart little soccer off the shin almost. As Parker trying to get it out. Showing a lot of the football to everyone and then going through hand. Nice handball received there to McIntyre. Bursting away through traffic is Jed Oxley, the big ox. Didn't have the front position, was still nearly able to hold onto the mark there. Dolan to the outer side. It's just been living in this particular area of the ground. To start this second half, as we toss back into play. You can see the number 36 there for the Northern East Border Bushrangers Ross. We're looking at him to have a strong impact if the Bushrangers are to come back into this contest. Doing the ruck work is Alfred for the Rebels. And they're going to win the clearance. Charlie Ballou dominated the first quarter. The mystery man. We're able to ID him at quarter time. Handball as he was falling to ground. Nearly good work. He's almost got a little bit too much time to size it up there. Did Kalen Stewart, conceding some ground, trying to get it forward. It's a hot handball back in boards. Just missing the target though. Edwards and the likes trying to defend. Well done on ground level though from Doolan, who is the captain of this Bushy squad. As we'll have another stoppage. Not a hell of a lot of scoring to start throughout the first 5 minutes of this third term.
Gibb wins the tap, hasn't gone too far. Bushrangers not trying to concede again. They've done well with Ross. Sam pass went to a teammate. The clearing kick along the wing is going to work, and Skian is in possession. Long centre wing, trying to impose himself on that possession was the youngster of Dillon. That's some better pressure applied, and Hunter comes away with the Sharon. You can see Fisher and Gibbs starting to move a bit further up the deck. It was a very dodgy kick in the end by Hunter, who'd done all the hard work and wasn't able to pick out that of Wiseman along the wing, but they do have a throw-in. The Bushrangers trailing by 30 points. Next couple of goals crucial if they're to try and manufacture a comeback. Can't really concede they haven't, but they have to score. Ross got stuck between his feet. The hand pass nearly for Antonello, who's applying some pressure. Clean chain of hand passes. Wiseman onto the boot, up high, not very handsome, but Hunter does just enough. Has a lot of support in boards, and there might be an opportunity on the run to line up for the Bushrangers. The bounce so devilish in the end. The scramble on the line was there, but Austin Kruger, that's got to be the most peculiar bounce we've seen in Ballarat City Oval history.
Maybe in the history, at least from what I've called in football, that is outrageous. How did that not go through? It was lovely work from Oscar Edwards on the run. He nearly got it. It was a good kick back in boards as well. And he just chipped that one in beautifully. It was a drilling pass. I believe it was Hunter. I've seen some strange bounces throughout the V-Line Cup, as you said. There were many on the boundary line that just continued to stay in somehow, but that one absolutely takes the cake. Very unlucky. They're the North-East Border Bushies. 1 for 10 now, so hanging in at the moment. Only by a thread though, because within a blink of an eye, yet again, it's going to be Judd Dolan with the bouncing ball. Had a lot of time there, did Trent McKenna. He's kicked it right back to the opposition. The Rebels a little bit too hot through hand, potentially a little bit high. Great pick up on ground level. They're still able to get the flying shot away. That'll be out of bounds on the full. Hudson Doolan to bring it back in. Out of the Wodonga Bulldogs, the Dong Dogs. Nearing the halfway point of this third quarter. Both teams with victories in their first games. Northern East defeating Goulburn yesterday. The Rebels defeated the Falcons in an absolute classic at this very ground. It was a 46-43 nail-biter. Beautifully called from Paddy Grinley. Shout out to all the callers who have been working throughout the V-Line Cup as well. Big effort from all involved, players, families, fans, umpires and the likes. Everyone in the canteen, good work here from Billy Jenkins. Even better work though in the tackle from Josh Hunter, who's starting to pop up here for his side, trying to will them forward, in which he does. Handball over the top, not to advantage, just went directly to the opposition in Oxley. He's been fairly proficient off half back, just coming off the shin of Gurnett. Nice work on ground level from Griffiths. As it's just slipped through his hands, allowing the Bushrangers to move it slightly forward to centre wing, but the umpire will cross the arms and will throw it back up.
11 minutes left in this third premiership quarter of today's Div 2 clash. It's a trio of GWV Rebels and NEB Bushranger matches. We're nearing the halfway point of the second of 3 possible installments. There's a grandstand finish to wrap up the girls' clash. A 4-point win for the side in blue. The Rangers falling just short. But meanwhile here, a bit of a firm grip on the game. The Rebels Div 2 boys have upon the northeastern border Bushrangers. Still time for anything to happen. Meanwhile, they've got the run and carry. It's Gurnett, who got a bit too overzealous with this Sharon. Gone on the ball, says the umpire, just as Griffin Edwards looked to infiltrate. From centre half back, they've repelled nicely since copping a few majors in the opening quarter. That's a lovely kick for Hunter, who's grown into the game. Goes back towards the initial direction of his received pass. Stumbling on his own feet momentarily was Hodge. Goes lateral, 2-on-2 contest. Atwood nearly away with the Sharon. Has to apply a challenge quickly. Hicks got the hand pass just in time. Smothered kick's going to bounce. Right down the guts goes the ball. And all eyes for the footy on that occasion was Kai McCulloch. He's done really well to mark. Can't miss him. Number 38 has the peroxide hair. Looking a little bit like Slim Shady. In the corridor, the Bushrangers finding some ball use. They kick towards centre half forward, and Hunter is really getting around the Sharon. Wheels and deals towards the goal square. Bouncing ball. Can they find the finish? You best believe they will. Darcy Skian, the boy from Yarrawonga, fires in another Bushrangers goal, and they might just try the comeback trail now.
Yeah, it was beautifully roved. It was Luke Dillon who did well to get to the marking contest, get 2 hands to it. That's all you can ask in the key forwards is either clunk them or bring them to ground and allow the small forwards to get to work. Beautifully roved from Skian. Thoroughly deserved goal. They've been building to that for so long. Of course, they had the one that was the most unfortunate bounce, well, not the most unfortunate bounce of all time, circa 2010 St Kilda Grand Final, of course, unfortunately.
Any chance you Saint fans have to bring that up? Vinny Venushot of the VAFA commentary doing much of the same, so it really runs true.
Same if there's a 666 warning, is that single-handedly saved the St Kilda Football Club, in which I unfortunately go for. Anyway, Rebels looking to get a quick answer after the Bushrangers got the last 2 goals of this game. Well done in defence. We mentioned Josh Hunter before as well. He's really turned this game on his head, or he's put himself under pressure, had to release through hand. Rebels have done well to get the football back. Both players holding each other. Play on is the call. Might just float over the top of Wiseman's head. Kick wasn't wise enough to find a man. 5-9-39, 2-4-16, 7.5 minutes remaining here in this third quarter. Divi 2 matchup. There'll be another game to follow at 2 p.m. These two same sides for the Division 1 to round out these 2025 V-Line Cup. Over 600 athletes representing from all across Victoria, and some even bordering South Australia and New South Wales. This man has been excellent. And Caden Jordan, although that's an interesting looking handball. It was Hunter applying the pressure and just belted forward from Charlie Bell. Was prominent in the first, starting to pop up yet again here in the third. George Farrell trying to tap it forward. Just lost the footy, being played between the 2 arcs. It'll be a free kick going the way of the Greater Western Victorian Rebels. Giant Dolan has had a great game. It was a good kick forward, just couldn't hold on to the mark. Oh. Hudson Doolan, the captain, I think starting to heat up here at City Oval in Ballarat, but yet again the kicks from both sides just back to each other. And the mark will be taken from Griffin Edwards. We'll take a fair roost. The footy will be 45-metre kick straight in front with some heavy winds and tough conditions to contend with.
Frantic passage. Doolan got really overzealous. He done well to get the ball into his preferred foot for the clearance, but Griffin Edwards with a nice read, which allowed for a set shot opportunity.
He kicked that nice dribbler in the first quarter. So now he's going for the set shot. Kicked 3 goals in a representative game for Ballarat earlier in the season. From 45 out, straight in front for the first since... There we go, he's got it. The first goal since the late stages of the first quarter, which is hard to believe. There for the Rebels. Edwards becomes the only multiple goal scorer on the afternoon. Lovely finish for the young man out of the Darley Football Club.
He lined up. We thought at least distance might have just not been within his arsenal, but he proved us wrong to the number 3 as Edwards slotted it. And well, considering that, Austin, it's their first major since the first quarter. The Bushrangers, wonder how they're interpreting that. Kept them scoreless in the second term.
It's a bit of a shoulder slump on that one, isn't it?
It's been until, well, 15 minutes played in the third for them to get back on the board. Just wonder if the Bushrangers, with Warwick Brown's men, if they were to get more of an offensive game dialed in, how this could have gone differently as it was Charlie Bell receives a free kick. The oohs and ahs all heard around the ground.
There's plenty of Bushies in attendance.
Excited for their main event and go-home show, which is to come up shortly after the Div 2 clash here. Edwards with the confidence after scoring. Power had received the hand pass, the kick in boards. It's pristine footy on display. And a set shot opportunity will be forthcoming.
Got a bit of go about him. Does Griffin Edwards along with Oliver Power. Just those type of players that don't need to have a hell of a lot of the football to have a strong impact, and that's what we're seeing.
As Power off his right, has the direction, just goes a bit to the left for a minus score, kicking slightly not to the favour of the Rebels. 6-10-46, although they do have a 30-point lead, 2-4-16 the Bushrangers.
4 minutes left in this third term. He liked it off the boot immediately too. He's almost ready to start running away as Fraser's kick has found a target. And the Bushies muster something up the latter stage of this term. In dispute out of sight, applying the pressure through tackle and slinging to the ground with Stephen. Still managed to get a kick away that might result in a scoring opportunity for them. Well done in defence, just got the front positioning. Needs to get a block from one of the teammates, didn't quite get it. A couple of repeat efforts, well done there from Sam McIntosh. Single-handedly, potentially stopped a goal, 2-on-1 down the line in favour of the Rebels, in which they mark relatively easily in the end. Antonello going to pull that kick in beautifully into the corridor. That's a sublime kick, finding Reinheimer. And there we go yet again. Griffin Edwards taking the mark. That's 2 marks. The young man who only stands at 167 centimetres inside forward 50. And yet again, just those beautiful corridor balls opening up City Oval here in Ballarat. And we've seen Griffin Edwards slot one from this exact spot only a few minutes ago.
There's a bit of Andrew Gaff about this bloke.
There is. Hopefully not with any off-the-ball stuff, of course. Griffin Edwards. For number 3, to nearly put this game to bed, just sailed right over the goal umpire's hat. He's got 2 in this quarter. He's got 3 for the game. He's got some X-factor too, does Griffin Edwards. 13 goals from 15 games at local level. He's got 3 today in the V-Line Cup. The Rebels continue to push away. 52 plays 16 going stages of this third quarter.
It's more just his demeanour, his positioning, the way he really reads the contest, reads it well.
Just whizzes about.
He does, doesn't he?
It's a whiz about.
And he stands out with his fluorescent yellow boots.
If he plays like that, absolutely. I was more of a black Asics career saver kind of guy playing off half back. There's no way I was wearing the orange or the neon wheels.
He's got the wheels on and wheeling away are the Rebels. They extend out their margin further. And they're not looking like stopping yet on that train. They want to keep surging forward. They enter inside the arc. The ball just ricocheting away from a very determined Jed Gurnett, who spun under all the pressure. And the stoppage was finally forced inside the last 90 seconds of this third term.
It's well done there from George Farrell in the middle as well. The big fella bursting away.
Clearing kick was necessary, but not as far.
We've seen this before.
As Antonello looks central. It's almost deja vu.
Edwards got to be next.
Stefan lowers the eyes. The piercing kick just slipping past that of Whitehead. Still there. for the Rebels. Can they get the hand pass to have a sight on goal?
Here he is.
Edwards lurking around the footy. Pressure's relentless. And within the last 45 seconds, there's a bit of time left for another Rebels goal. It's a matter of whether or not they can find it. Up and away we go once more. The tap, this time from McKenna. Umpire calling a free kick in favour of the Rebels. And they'll close out the third quarter with a set shot. Might happen on the siren.
Pretty young by the looks of it.
Thankfully, Austin has the binoculars. The boy from North Ballarat might just already have a major today.
He wasn't the best against the Falcons in that 3-point victory as well.
And on the siren, Young will stroll in. He'll put it on its journey. It'll hit the post. It's not been the first time we've seen that in this clash today, as the senior Rebels get a rub of the green at three-quarter time. 7-11, 53. Plays 2-4-16. Those in blue, Austin Kruger, running right out there now. And the Bushrangers were closing up the shop, but now it's been broken into once more.
Yeah, nice close to the third quarter there. We'll have our final break for this Division 2 matchup between the Rebels and the Bushrangers before we bring you right up to the full-time siren. 20 minutes remaining for these two sides in their 2025 V-Line Cup campaign. It's a Division 2 matchup. Greater Western Victorian Rebels 7-11-53, leading the Northeast Border Bushrangers 2-4-16. Austin Kruger here on the Sportscast Australia YouTube channel live stream. And make sure to visit all of the social channels through AFL Victoria to stay up to date with all of the grounds, all of the action throughout the final day of the V-Line Cup. And here's the voice of Adam Plomby to take you up to the final quarter.
We'll see if the Northeastern Border Bushrangers can just reduce the deficit. They've had claims throughout the game to showcase what they're about, but the Rebels have been suffocating and are really enjoying what is a 37-point lead. If my mathematics is correct, you best believe it is. We'll see how this just all unfolds in the last 20 minutes. All anticipating the Div 1 clash, which is set to inflate at 2 o'clock, which will see us all but wrapped up for another year of V-Line Cup action. An advertisement for Ballarat for, well, the real week of football. It is heading into the grand final. Future Generation Clash also at the G on Saturday before the Lions and Cats lock horns for this year's AFL Premiership.
Heard there's a pretty good commentary team on that one too.
There's a fantastic commentary team, spearheaded by Austin Kruger.
Joshy Harriet.
All the big guns coming out for quite the clash. That'll be a nice appetizer for what's to come with the AFL Men's Grand Final not far away after that on Saturday. It's that kind of week, Austin, isn't it, where in lead up to Grand Final, of course, it was the VFL Grand Final across the weekend.
Oh, what a game.
A fantastic result for Footscray.
We also had the Coates Grannies on Saturday. We saw the Eastern Rangers take out their first premiership in the girls, and the boys won for the first time in 12 years, becoming the first team ever to win both on the same day and in the same year. As he said, the VFL Granny now rolling in to the V-Line Cup, the best under 15 talent all across country Victoria, all merging in the great city of Ballarat. In fourth quarter, in its early stages, taking the mark here, Huddy Twit, and playing on and getting pinned. Here's the Twit star. Unfortunate, was trying to just get a bit of pace on the ball. That's a quick little chip, just the required journey there to the skipper in Griffiths. Got a goal in the first quarter. He's been solid throughout the contest. Towards half forward now, the Rebels go. Here is Reinheimer. He kicked a goal against the Falcons in their round 1 matchup. Freddie Young from the boundary. He's going to set it up into the goal square. Very unselfish footy. Excellent work. Stephen taking the mark. Has he marked it just in the goal square or just out? Just out. Now, I reckon 90% of AFL players would probably go for a snap from this part of the ground. But during the V-Line Cup, these under-15 lads have shown that you can go for the drop punt and you can slot them very efficiently. And there's another one there for Julian Stephen. He's got 2 goals, 2 in the afternoon. Well set up from Freddie Young, Jack Griffiths and the likes. And the Rebels continue the damage here in the fourth.
There's nothing wrong with a traditional drop punt, no matter where you might be. This, well, nonsense of going 90 degrees on a straight ankle.
I can understand for the rucks, you know. They're not known as the silkiest of kickers, but I've seen throughout the whole V-Line Cup, pretty much no one has gone for those snaps unless they're actually on the boundary. It's been very impressive. And it's hard to believe these guys are under 15s. We're going to be treated for years to come, aren't we?
Oh, you'd hope so. Kicking remains like that. Though it hasn't been completely accurate from the Rebels. 43 points in front now. Just hope in this last quarter, Austin, that the Bushrangers can find some individual wins around the grounds. Some moments that they'll take back on the bus with them, wherever that journey may be. It's quite the trip to get to Ballarat. And although they haven't really showed out much in this Div 2 clash, you'd hope that there's something that can have them all up and about on the bus ride home. As McKenna gets a touch of the footy on broadcast side. Looks down the line. That's where he goes towards. It was there for Gibb. He's had a bit to do today in the headouts. It's been rather even in the ruck contest. At ground level, around the football, Hughes picks it up, got boot to ball towards the forward pocket. It looked like it might have gone. It sits up in the air, which Martin can adjust. and claim. Goes the lateral kick. It was well contested by Gosling, who'd done well enough to throw off his direct opponent. Spearing kick was there from Edwards. He will get it back following the hand pass. Hot to handle the footy right now. Off half back. Griffiths look to go. Edwards has been all over the ground today. Antonello one for the hand pass. Over the top. Potentially could have been that of Ward. Goes right down the line in front of the interchange. The ball in dispute. Look at the afterburners on display from Young. And he found a teammate. He'll get it back, Young. He'll go with the snap. And it might just be goal of the lot from GWV. From one end to the other, carving through them. The unselfish play from Stephen. And I hope I've gotten it right, Austin, because Freddie Young has gone coast to coast.
Yeah, certainly did, Adam. Well called, mate. That was just beautiful football. The rebound, counter-attack involved Griffin Edwards yet again. He's kicked three, he's set up a few, along with Freddie Young, who was able to convert that major. The 1-2 between them inside forward 50 at full pace to get that snap away. The degree of difficulty cannot be understated. It's about, could be playing the V-line Cup. It's right up there. And they're not done, are the Rebels? Good attack in the football there from the big fella in Dustin Fisher. He was good yesterday against the Goulburn boys. That was Big Dusty. As we'll toss it back into play in front of some of the fans in attendance. It's been great to see how many friends, families and fans have shown up throughout the V-Line Cup. It's been some great atmosphere across all the venues. And in Sebastopol on Monday at Marty Bush Reserve, we saw a double rainbow. It was beautiful, under lights, footy as well. Griffiths, the captain, right there to Oscar Edwards. He's had plenty of the football here in this contest. Skiing with a slight fumble about 30 metres from home here for the Bushrangers, trying to add a bit more respect onto the scoreboard to finish off their V-Line Cup campaign. And an opportunity for them. As I said, 30 from home. It's going to be... He's going to try to do it himself in the ruck. Was able to release through hand, tracking the ball towards the boundary line. It's going to be Harvey Gosling. Saw him kick one of the more miraculous goals yesterday. The Griffiths is coming up trumps here in this last quarter. The captain making sure that they're going to finish off the V-Line Cup with a nice win. There he is in the neon wheels. Our man Griffin Edwards couldn't quite garner possession, but he's still desperately trying to win the football or at least create a stoppage for his side, in which he does. The 12.5-minute mark of this Division 2 clash.
Nearing its conclusion, 12.5 left. Can we see something spectacular from either side? A massive torpedo inside forward 50. Hunter has had glimpses of brilliance today. He's also had a couple of moments which I'm sure he'd want back. As Bell hacks it down the line. It's a nice field kick, an even better mark taken by Young, and he's ready to go. Spring in his step, goes to centre half forward. Lovely use of the body was there from Stewart. They've got numbers streamlining everywhere. The dribbler applied. The post obstructed, and it was Gurnett who could have ran it in if he wanted to, Austin, but he opted to go the dribbler kick, and I'm sure if Chief out of Jason Dunstall was watching right now, he wouldn't be too pleased, perhaps jumping over his desk at the young man. But that might just get that of Garnett out of danger, considering, well, not his inexperience, but his young age. And the minor score will now read a 50-point lead for the Rebels. Bounce enthusiasts, I hope you've enjoyed that one.
Yes, he may not have been quite aware of just how much space he actually had. He could have kept running all the way back into Bendigo, to be quite honest. As Tucker down the line is Griffin Edwards.
Here's your man.
There we go. He just sprung up. He didn't have the height advantage. Didn't matter. Griffin Edwards, he's kicked three. Has been serving him up.
Oh, well done.
Yeah, excellent mark in defence from Sam McIntosh. Out of the Wangaratta Magpies. Moves it off to Thwaites. Got their first goal of the game. Down the line, Thwaites goes. It was a good kick. Just couldn't hold on to the mark at scan. A couple of players just losing their footing. You see the youngster couldn't quite win it on this occasion. Numbers in favour of the Bushrangers. Through hand they go. Hardy Twit under pressure has done well as Ross. Ross's kick just a bit of a wobbler. Might just work out for them. Ball nearly eluded the likes of Isaac Hughes inside forward 50, not to the advantage of the forward. It's going to be able to mop it up. Kick just going over the top of the next target. Well, able to keep this one in the line. And that's a better use of the Sharon as they're building off half back nicely. Zach Martin goes to that short little 45 inboard kick. Been able to capitalise throughout this game. He's going to go for the LDL along down the line. Good front positioning and body work from both. Trent McKenna, who's been one of the best in defence through their 2 games within the V-Line Cup.
Well
this
done.
Kid's got a bit of whiz about him too, does Kobe Thwaites. And that's just bounced off the noggin for a boundary throw-in.
Well done from Thwaites. Enjoyed that from the boy from Benalla. Showing some effort despite the result and time of the match. And up until that recent passage, it's worth mentioning these, especially, of course, with the Div 2 lads or the ladettes who played out in the last match. The kicking's been so pure from both sides. It's no short ground here at Ballarat City Oval. And the way the ball's just gliding amongst it, despite the ball being a bit slippery, a real testament to, well, these juniors and their kicking acumen.
Especially considering the girls are playing in much tougher conditions as well, and arguably were kicking straighter.
The ball was travelling. It was travelling a fair distance too, mind you. Had a brief moment. It was really hard to distinguish if it was juniors or seniors I was commentating on. So fair credit to everybody involved. Can't keep saying it, the future is well and truly bright
Not against
for
our
our
man.
great game. But your man, Austin of Edwards, caught holding the ball.
Shorts barely fit him.
And Doolan.
Good Eddie Betts about those shorts.
It's more about why the gaff statement was made. It looks like his shirt's tucked in as well.
I love that.
As Parker gets the ball moving. There's your spoil from peroxide Caden Jordan. Has the excitement, not just with his choice of hairstyle, but in his gameplay as well. Has that spring in his step. Was there to punch out a play as the clock reads. Just over 8 minutes left on it. And well, we had the grandstand finish in the girls. Not so much here, but we'll hope to have a more even contest on the scoreboard, that is, come the Division 1 boys matchup, which is really close. It's already ticked over to 1:41 p.m. Today's flown by. Austin Kruger, not sure we'll be a part of it for the next. We'll look to bode him farewell on the broadcast, and you'll be stuck hearing the voice of Adam Palombi. But meanwhile here, everybody having a good time despite the score. The Rangers getting stuck in and in danger. Free kick they've now conceded. The sportsmanship on display. You love to see it as there's an opportunity on the cards.
For Alfred, yeah, you mentioned the sportsmanship. That's been shown all throughout the V-Line Cup. Throughout all 3 days, it's been excellent to see numerous players picking up the opposition. Of course, it's a battlefield on the ground, but when it's all done and dusted, they settle the score.
No. Mark was just dropped on the goal line. The journey, the torpedo required to try get it there from the number 23 of GWV. Ball right in the engine room, being fully competed by Hughes, who wanted to win it. He's stuck in there again, the man with the red boots, the umpire with the watch, and a whistle to boat. 6.5 left, 50 points the margin.
Seen some fantastic goals throughout today's proceedings here at City Oval and Ballarat. Excellent display of football, what the V-Line Cup is all about. Off half back, the Rebels having an excellent game is Caden Jordan, although he's kicked it to the opponent into Mitchell Hodge. Mitchell Hodge, of course, maybe a combo of Sam Mitchell and Luke Hodge. As the ball in dispute in the outer side, surely got to be a high tackle there. Surely will be. Harvey Gosling, 23 goals from his 18 games for the Wodonga Raiders throughout his 2025 local season. Was able to draw in the opponent nicely, and bursting through will be Ross. Trying to add a bit more respect onto the scoreboard. Potentially pushed out of it there. Unlucky. Carlin doing the defending. He was wrapped up straight away. Tried to palm it off to his opponent. We'll throw it up. Millimetres from the boundary. The dying stages of this Division 2 game. The final match for these two sides within the campaign. We'll have the Division 1 match up next. The girls' game was the standout of the afternoon and the morning so far. It was a 3-point classic. We had the boys behind us as well, creating such a wonderful atmosphere. I imagine the Divi 2 boys will be cheering on, much like they did for the girls. Handball over the top. Bit of a fumble, high pressure running onto the football though will be Gosling, starting to have a little bit of the sharing here in the last quarter, but every time I open my mouth there's a turnover to the player I'm talking about. There's the kick from the outer side from Zach Martin, who's been pretty good today out of the Horsham Demons. Plays at under 17 level. There's a lot of players playing above their age. Number 40 here, Oscar Edwards, arguably going to be in best on ground honours, of course, with both sides awarding the best on ground at the conclusion of each game. Wonderful achievement, sliding onto the turf. Is being told to play on from the bump ball. He's going to try and bang it from 50. Tell you what, he might just be a chance. It's gone through.
Oh, yeah.
That is some kind of finish. One step, 50 metres out. And a bit more respect onto the scoreboard. Certainly on the highlight reel. Not much of a celebration, but fair enough considering the score. Nonetheless, 55 against the wind. And it was Hardy Twitt. He converts his first major in the third here for the North East Border Bushies. 66 plays 22.
Hey, good on the Bulldog from backing himself from downtown. That's what you mentioned. At least I mentioned, Austin, in wanting moments from these individuals. No matter the score, have something to take back with you. And I'm sure it's exactly what Hardy Twitt will be doing here today.
666 warning. Second, so it'll be a free kick.
So Gibb wanted to go quickly. Umpire will just hold proceedings and Gibb will try again. Still some clamour in the grandstands here.
Well, the Melbourne Football Club is probably just as confused as the boys out there, so I wouldn't be too worried under 15 level, and they're probably doing it better than the Demons, to be quite frank.
Of course, flashbacks to round 20 in the AFL competition this year.
2 votes.
And, well, took the words right out of my mouth.
That's the Twitster again.
0.03% Jack Viney was to actually be awarded the 3 votes, and he miraculously was. As deep in this one, Hunter twisting, turning. He's done really well, Hunter, to find a teammate. And Fraser will be the recipient. He went quickly. They got a bit unselfish there, perhaps those in white.
Yeah, the umpire wasn't the required journey in the end.
And the Rebels, inside the last 2 minutes, will come away with this Sharon. They kick towards the outer boundary. Not sure where to go. They come back in numbers now, although Jed Oxley has the ball just run out of play.
Just under 2 minutes left. There's a 5-goal opening quarter blitz from the Rebels that has set this victory up. The Bushrangers clawed back into contention in the second. They just couldn't quite. They had some very unlucky bounces, especially on the goal line. Oscar Edwards had a goal just snatched from absolutely nowhere with a very unfortunate bounce. But that is also the beauty of the Sharon. Well done from Ross, somehow getting the kick away inside. They're having a promising finish to this contest. Can Hunter run onto the football? Through the goal square they go. And Gosling gets a well-deserved major. Harvey Gosling, 23 goals at local level this year for the Wodonga Raiders. Another one of those Wodonga players out there. And as we said, Adam, for the last quarter, it was just about adding a bit more respect to the scoreboard and having a few moments. It's certainly what they've done, and it's been a thoroughly deserved fourth quarter victory for them nonetheless.
Don't think the Bushrangers, in my humble opinion, deserve to go down by more than what the margin reads right now.
It's felt closer than what it says.
It's that first quarter which really slipped away from them, but they were A lot more tighter defensively in the second and third terms. The Rebels, they're kicking not too great, but the margin of, dare I say, 32 points. Make that 36 rather. Reads well. My maths might be way off. We continue. Last play. Is there a last goal from either side? The Rebels will try their ticket in the raffle to do so. A bit too high the kick it might have been for that of Di Dolan. As in the last 6 seconds of play, the Rebels will continue in their winning ways in Division 2 and defeat that of the northeastern border Bushrangers. It was a 38-point margin in the end as we look towards the Div 1 clash.
Yeah, that'll start in about 11 minutes' time all throughout the Sportscast Australia YouTube channel. Make sure to tune into that one to hear the voice of Adam Palombi. But what a game. Might have been not as close as we liked, but still some fantastic performances. Griffin Edwards with the 3 goals was one of the standouts. Julian Stephen with 2. Also set up a couple. Hardy Twit for the Northern East Border Bushrangers, along with Darcy Ski and Oscar Edwards. Just a couple of standouts. My name's Austin Kruger. This is going to be my final game of the day, so I'd just like to give a big thanks to anyone who's tuned in throughout the broadcast over the past few days. Hopefully I haven't butchered too many of your children's names wrong, and I apologise if I do. It's been a big few days. It's been wonderful. It's my second year being a part of the V-Line Cup. It'll continue with another match for the Division 1, but it's a wonderful program to be a part of, to bring all these country footballers together. So big thank to everyone who's tuned in, and a big thank you to Anna Palombi. He's going to bring it home strong for this Division 1 matchup as the post-game celebration will commence shortly here as the GWV Rebels go 2-0 in the V-Line Cup.
To the Northeast Border boys, well done. You fought that one out. I watched you yesterday, 2 games in a row. Didn't be tough, but you certainly fought that one out. So well done. To the GWV Rebels boys, well done on a successful carnival. Fantastic effort. We look forward to monitoring your careers going forward. Hopefully being involved in the V-Line Cup gives you a little glimpse of what's ahead for you in the Talented Pathways program. So well done to everyone. To the umpires, a really good week for you as well. Good opportunities to improve and get some feedback from your coaches as well. So thank you for your efforts this week. So a round of applause for the umpires. So we'll call on the Northeast Border coach, Mick Pellegrino, to say a few words and to announce the best player. And Mitch from V-Line will present that medal. So Mick.
What's that baby been?
Firstly, thank you to V-Line. This really is a good carnival. And it is really good pathway for everyone. Thank you to Ballarat. It is good grounds.
Just racing's all like spent
To the Rebels, well done today. We knew you were going to be tough.
Yeah, because I've never seen smoke before. I thought you were joking. I do it all the time. 3-4 years. I thought you were being sarcastic. You know what I found the other day? I found this hilarious. That's strong, huh?
It's mint. It's tasty.
That's all I love.
It's actually smart though, if you think about it.
Yeah, but everyone usually has.
Just get a photo.
If you don't, you want to get one delivered.
It's just hilarious.
It's silly, but it's actually smart. It's all the time.
It's good business.
Yeah.
Dandelion.
Yeah, oh yeah, especially out there.
Well done.
I was there when I saw it.
So we'll call on the coach of the GWV Rebels, Tim Beecham, to come forward and say a few words and announce his best player. Thanks, Tim.
Firstly, for the umpires, well done on your performance.
Passport live.
Seeing you operate through the carnival, you've been actually first class. We wish you all the very best.
Victorian Amateurs Football
North East, well done. You were fantastic. Obviously, yeah, we jumped in the first quarter, but I thought after quarter
It's
time, you
good
were really
fun. I really enjoy it.
You got some really good solid out there. I look forward to seeing
It's the last one. And then on Wednesday, I got called. I got
really well done.
I'm not doing it.
Coming far and relating to a team
Weekly, you drive out to they're all in.
doing really well at things. Congratulations to you, to all the families and the parents, uncles and aunties and the people who made it. We really do appreciate what you do. We know you travel great distances and the opportunity to participate in this level with you.
It's like getting to a chocolate.
And also to AFL.
I want you more chocolate.
Great event. So,
I want you more
our best
chocolate.
player today went to Freddie Young.
It's good as here, but that's awesome. Yeah, 100%. I love it. That's good.
That was good. That was good.
It's a nice surprise.
I thought you only
Well done. Just get a photo there, Tim.
PL or whatever.
Well, I remember I asked you that before.
Great, fantastic. For all those people travelling home, please travel home safely. I know we're pleased for people who've got a fair way to go, so travel home safely, and we look forward to monitoring you as you continue your pathways. Thank you.
That was a good sum of money they paid me for this thing. Good. Yeah. Usually they get me at hotels, no, but this time.